Did you know that in 1976, Germany was forever scarred by one of the most disturbing, chilling, and controversial cases in modern history? A young woman named Anneliese Michel, only 23 years old, became the center of a tragedy so dark that even today, it still divides the world between those who believe she was suffering from a severe mental illness and those who were convinced she was truly possessed. It all began years earlier, when Anneliese started experiencing strange physical and psychological episodes. She suffered convulsions, sudden attacks, and periods of disconnection that deeply alarmed her family. Doctors diagnosed her with neurological and psychiatric disorders, and she began receiving treatment. But as time went on, instead of getting better, her behavior became increasingly strange, more unsettling, and harder to explain. According to witness accounts, Anneliese began saying she saw terrifying figures, heard voices, felt evil presences around her, and developed a deep aversion to religious objects. Her family, who were deeply religious, started to believe this was not just an illness, but something far darker. Convinced their daughter was under demonic influence, they turned to the church for help. At first, several priests refused, believing it might be a medical condition. But after a long period of insistence, an exorcism was finally approved. And that was the moment a real-life nightmare began. For months, Anneliese was subjected to dozens of exorcism rituals. The sessions were repeated over and over again, while her physical and mental condition continued to deteriorate. Day by day, she grew weaker, more exhausted, and more consumed. Instead of recovering, she seemed to be slowly sinking into a spiral of suffering that no one was able to stop. What makes this case even more shocking is that it wasn't a rumor, a campfire story, or some fictional horror movie. It was completely real. There were audio recordings, witness testimonies, medical reports, and a trial that left the entire world in shock. According to the records, Anneliese endured 67 exorcism rituals in less than a year. Meanwhile, her body was slowly shutting down. She had almost stopped eating, barely drank water, and became so physically weak that she could hardly stand. And yet, the sessions continued. Finally, on July 1st, 1976, Anneliese Michel died in her home. The autopsy revealed a devastating truth. She died from severe malnutrition and dehydration. She weighed far below what was considered normal, was completely exhausted, and her body simply could not endure any longer. Her death triggered a massive scandal in Germany. Society was deeply divided. Some believed she had been the victim of extreme religious fanaticism. Others insisted that something supernatural had taken place, something beyond explanation. But the legal system did respond. Her parents and the two priests who took part in the exorcisms were put on trial, charged with negligent homicide. In the end, they were found guilty. The case was so shocking that it became one of the most thoroughly documented exorcisms in modern history. It also inspired movies, documentaries, and one of the most terrifying supernatural stories ever brought to the screen, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. But the most disturbing part of all is that even after all these years, no one has been able to answer the question that still haunts this story. Was Anneliese Michel a severely ill young woman who desperately needed medical help? Or was she truly facing something beyond all human explanation?